Today's topic, transportation. Now a question comes to our mind. What happens to all the substances which are picked up by the respiratory organ or the food absorbed by the alimentary canal? Where does it go? Obviously, it must be supplied to all the living cells. Why? Because these cells of our body, they will show some mechanism or transportation from the place of their abundance to the place of their scarcity, where these are required. Right? Why? Why is it required? Because these coordinated processes, this will carry out this proper distribution of material through a process known as transportation, so that energy can be supplied to the body for its various metabolic activities. Right? Then, how this transportation process is carried out for providing all these absorbed materials, digested material to various organs of the body? Then we say transportation is a life process in which a substance synthesized or absorbed in one part of the body's or the organism's body is carried to other part of the body. Right? What helps in transportation? We are familiar that in higher organisms like we, human beings, or other higher organisms, we can talk about all those animals that roam around. Cows, buffaloes, right? Even if a dog is coming to your mind, that is no less higher organism. They have oxygen, CO2, digested food, hormones, excretory products. How these products like digested food, hormones, excretory products, how do these move from one place to another? Okay, then there are two circulatory systems we have, and these circulatory systems help in transport of material to the relevant organs and tissues. These circulatory systems that we have are blood vascular system, and lymphatic system. When we are talking about human beings, especially in case of human beings, we say we have a well-developed complex body, and the vascular system that we have, it has tubes full of fluid which is to be transported from one place to another. And the red blood vascular system comprises of the main organ known as heart, which pumps blood, receives blood, and send it through blood vessels to all the parts of the body. Whenever heart has its own blood vascular system, then these blood vessels are arteries, veins, and capillaries. What are these arteries? Arteries are basically which are supposed to carry the oxygenated blood. We say arteries carry oxygenated blood. Veins carry deoxygenated blood. Is there any twist? Yes. The pulmonary artery and the pulmonary vein. Only artery and only vein which is supposed to do the opposite. Means the pulmonary artery carries the deoxygenated blood and the pulmonary vein carries the oxygenated blood. Don't worry, when we will be doing this section of heart, we will discuss this point in detail and label these artery and vein there also. Right? Capillaries are the small tubular networks which act as connectors. Right? Now moving to what is blood? It is a mobile, reddish colored fluid. We are quite familiar with what is blood. कभी चोट लगती है तो blood ही निकलता है ना? So moving to what is blood. Blood is reddish colored fluid. Why it is reddish in color? And what it does? The reddish color is due to the pigment hemoglobin in it. Right? What it does? It supplies nutrients, It supplies oxygen to all the living cells, and what it removes waste product, and it removes CO2 from them. Are there any components of the blood? Yes, this blood is having plasma and blood corpuscles. What is this plasma? The matrix in which all the blood cells are suspended. Blood cells means the formed elements or the blood corpuscles. What are these? These are RBCs, WBCs and platelets. RBC is meant for the transportation of oxygen as well as CO2. WBC is known as the soldiers of the body, and platelets help in blood clotting. Presence of the hemoglobin makes it look red in color, and we call them red blood cells. What are the important functions of blood that we have just enlisted here? There are certain important functions that the blood performs, and these are the first one is blood helps in circulation of soluble digested food. To various parts of the body. Number 2, helps in excretion. What excretion? Excretion of material like urea, which is made in the liver and is transported to kidney so that it can be removed from the body. Then number 3, it carries hormones. From where? From endocrine glands to the target organ, where they have to reach and work. Next one, it helps to maintain the body temperature. Body temperature. What is our body temperature? It's constant, 37 degrees Celsius. And what helps in maintaining it? Our blood. Then number 5, transports oxygen to all the parts of the body, right? With the help of hemoglobin. Then hemoglobin combines with oxygen to form HbO2, oxyhemoglobin. Next one, it also carries CO2, which is produced by the tissues. And this we have learned from the tissues. It carries CO2 to alveoli, from where it is released out. Right. Next is, it has a property of clotting. That means it helps in blood clotting whenever we get injured, so that no excessive blood loss takes place. Then WBCs of our blood, they act as soldiers which protect us from other bacteria, germs, and they protect the body from the attack of foreign pathogens as well. Then it acts as a buffer mechanism. What is that buffer mechanism? Because it maintains a constant solute potential. Constant solute potential means maintains a proper pH also. Right, and the pH of blood is 7.4. It's a buffer solution.